Reading a book a week may seem like an impossible goal for many people, especially amid hectic schedules, constant distractions, and a never-ending to-do list. But the truth is, this goal is not only achievable, it can become second nature with the right strategy, mindset, and consistency. Whether you're reading to gain knowledge, improve your language skills, or simply enjoy a good story, developing a routine to finish one book per week can transform your personal and professional life. This guide will explore the step-by-step process to help you build this habit without stress, burnout, or pressure. Choose the right kind of books first. Before jumping into a new habit of reading one book every week, it's important to start by choosing the right type of book. Not all books are created equal. Some books are dense and academic, while others are written in a simpler, more conversational tone. If you're just beginning this challenge, try picking books that are shorter in length, preferably under 300 pages. This doesn't mean you're avoiding good content. Many powerful books are compact and impactful. Starting with easier or more engaging reads can help you build momentum and confidence, which will carry you forward into more challenging work later on. Also, be clear about your goals when choosing a book. Are you reading for entertainment, education, self-improvement, or a mix of these? Selecting a book that aligns with your interests and needs will keep you engaged and motivated to finish it within a week. Divide and conquer. How to break down a book. One of the simplest and most effective ways to read a book a week is to break it down into manageable daily goals. If your average book is about 300 pages, you would only need to read approximately 43 pages per day to finish it in 7 days. That's a far less intimidating number than trying to read the entire book in 1 or 2 sittings. When you open a new book, quickly calculate how many pages it has and divide that number by 7. This gives you a daily page goal. If you stick to this goal consistently, you'll finish a book every week without fail. Some people find it helpful to physically mark these daily sections with sticky notes, bookmarks, or digital highlights if reading on a device. That visual reminder helps track your progress and keeps you on pace. Schedule dedicated reading time every day. Reading consistently requires intention. You can't just rely on spare time or when I feel like it moments. Instead, block out a specific time each day for reading. This can be early in the morning before the day gets busy, during your lunch break, or at night before sleeping. Think of this time as sacred, a non-negotiable appointment with yourself. To develop the habit faster, try reading at the same time and place every day. This will train your mind to associate that time with focused reading. Even if you can't read all your daily pages in one sitting, you can break them up across different points in your day. And for example, 20 pages in the morning and 23 at night. The key is to treat it like an important commitment rather than a casual hobby you do only when you feel like it. Remove distractions to stay fully engaged. In the age of smartphones, social media, and constant notifications, reading has become harder, not because of the act itself, but because of our shortened attention spans. To get the most out of your reading sessions and finish books quickly, you need to create a distraction-free environment. Turn off notifications, put your phone in another room, and choose a quiet, comfortable spot where you won't be interrupted. If you're reading digitally, consider using apps or settings that disable alerts while you read. Deep, focused reading is what allows you to absorb and retain information better, and it also helps you finish books faster because you aren't constantly breaking your flow. Take notes to improve retention and speed. Many people forget what they read shortly after finishing a book. To avoid this and also to deepen your understanding, it helps to take light notes while reading. You don't need to write essays, just jot down key ideas, surprising insights, or interesting quotes. Writing even a few sentences per chapter can help you process the information more deeply. This practice also prevents you from zoning out or daydreaming. When you know you'll be taking notes, you naturally stay more alert and focused while reading. Over time, note-taking becomes a natural part of the process and will significantly improve both your reading speed and comprehension. Use different formats, mix print, digital, and audiobooks. Reading doesn't always have to mean sitting with a physical book. You can diversify your approach by using a combination of print books, ebooks, and audiobooks. Each format has its advantages, And using them wisely allows you to squeeze in more reading time throughout the day. For example, you can read a print book or Kindle in the morning, listen to the audiobook version during your commute, and continue digitally on your phone during lunch. This multi-format method allows you to cover more pages without being tied to one format or setting. Many people find audiobooks especially helpful for absorbing content during otherwise idle moments, like while driving, doing chores, or exercising. Replace scroll time with reading time. Think about how many hours each week are spent scrolling through social media or watching random videos online. If even a small portion of that time was redirected to reading, finishing one book a week would be easy. Instead of mindlessly checking your phone when bored, reach for your book instead. This conscious habit shift can unlock hours of hidden time each week. You can also install screen tracking apps to monitor your digital habits. When you become aware of how much time is spent on passive entertainment, it becomes easier to reassign that time to something more enriching like reading. Join a reading community or accountability group. Reading is often thought of as a solitary activity, but having a community can make a huge difference. When you're part of a book club, online forum, or reading challenge group, there's a sense of shared purpose and motivation. Discussing what you're reading, or even just knowing that others are working toward the same goal can keep you on track. If you don't know anyone personally who reads regularly, join virtual book clubs, Reddit communities, or even start a small group chat with friends. Accountability turns reading from a lonely task into a social journey. You're more likely to finish a book when someone might ask, hey, what did you think of chapter 5? But don't obsess over every word or detail. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to finish books quickly is because they think they have to remember or analyze every single word. This slows them down unnecessarily. Instead, aim to grasp the key messages, ideas, or plot points. Reading efficiently doesn't mean skimming, it means reading with purpose. If a section is too slow, redundant, or filled with things you already know, it's okay to speed up or move ahead. You can always revisit chapters later. The goal of reading one book a week is not to perform a literary analysis, it's to engage, learn, and build a consistent habit. Reflect at the end of each book. When you finish a book, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what did I learn? What ideas or scenes stuck with me? How did this book impact me emotionally or intellectually? Writing a summary, rating the book, or even sharing your thoughts on social media or a reading app can help solidify the experience. Reflection adds a sense of closure and reward, making the reading process feel complete. It also prepares your mind to move on to the next book without feeling overwhelmed or disconnected. Conclusion: make it a lifestyle, not a challenge. Reading one book a week is more than just a goal, it's a lifestyle. At first, it may feel like a challenge that demands discipline and time management, but over time, it becomes second nature. You begin to crave reading the way you might crave music or conversation. You start to look at books not as chores, but as companions and guides. If you commit to the habit, make it enjoyable, and stay consistent, you'll not only be able to read 52 books a year, that you'll change the way you think, speak, learn, and live. If you found this guide helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more insightful content, and let us know in the comments, what's the next book on your reading list?